to you by
Makerere Institute for Social Development, a certified institution for higher learning, invites applicants for certificates and diploma courses. MISD or Makerere Institute for Social Development, facilitating your career.
A very good afternoon to you, our dear viewer. Once again, this is your lunchtime news on the 25th of June 2026. My name is Patricia Lukoma Mpango, and into the bulletin, members of parliament affiliated to the Patriotic League of Uganda have served the clerk to parliament seeking leave of a parliament to table a private member's bill aimed at amendment of the Parliament Administration Act. We have more in this report.
As per the Administration of Parliament Act Article 82A of the Constitution, Parliament is to exist under the multi-party system with the leader of opposition. Subject to subsection 23, the leader of opposition shall be elected by the party in opposition with the greatest numerical strength in Parliament, with consultations from other opposition political parties and independent members of Parliament. However, according to some members of Parliament led by Bega West County MP Dennis Namara, they cited that the existing leader of opposition did not follow the law.
Right now what's happening is that the leader of opposition is not chosen by the opposition political parties, neither through consultation. The leader of opposition is selected from Kavule by some few individuals without consulting other opposition members of parliament.
Following this, they have served the clerk of parliament seeking leave of parliament to table a private member's bill moving the amendment of the Administration of Parliament Act.
We are coming up with a motion to amend that particular provision, Section 8 of the Administration of Parliament Act, to provide how elaborately the leader of opposition has to be chosen. And that has to be an election where the opposition members of parliament, all of them participate, including the independent members of parliament. The same law did not provide how all political parties are consulted when constituting the membership of the committees of parliament. What is happening now? Still people go to Kavule and elect and decide who goes on which committee of parliament.
MPs cite that the bill also seeks to amend on how the LOP can be removed from office, showing accountability of the budget allocated to the LOP's office, among other concerns.
The leader of opposition of that office has a budget of about 4 billion Uganda shillings. That money is drawn from the consolidated fund. Therefore, there must be an oversight by parliament in as far as how that money is spent, whether there's value for money or not.
You saw what happened within the parliament. Every stone was touched. So even those who access government resources while hiding behind elements of opposition, the stone will be turned.
However, the Bari constituency MP Charles Tebandeke says the private member's bill by the honorable MPs is unnecessary.
Maybe they just want to provide in the amendment to cater for their spirit as a PLOU within the law. But if it is in the spirit of the law, in consideration with the law of justice, democratic principles, whichever they are seeking for is provided within the law. So what is so foreign, what is new that they want to provide in the law is not so clear. I think this is a political move.
Both the 10th and the 11th Parliament tabled a bill of the sort, but all in vain, where Tebandeke says Parliament should be respected rather than being used as a playground.
Parliament should not be used as a rubber stamp, that for whoever wants to stamp any other document must run into Parliament as a dustbin to accommodate whichever dust that wants to be thrown in line with fake laws. when making laws, it shouldn't, the law shouldn't have any eye of looking at a particular person. But the law must always come in the spirit of togetherness, generosity, to create sanity and justice within the country.
Linus Ngopek, Member of Parliament for Chibanda North County, is said to be one of the seconders of this bill, highlighting that it's not fighting anyone.
Whoever receives public funds must be accountable because you're using public resources. So that is our stand.
Rebecca Natongo, Gloria Gutabiji, Parliament.
Well, news just in indicates that in an exercise of the powers vested in the President of Uganda under Article 99, Section 1 of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has appointed Honorable John Chrysostom Muyingo as the Acting Minister of Education and Sports in the absence of a substantive minister. This appointment takes immediate effect. And of course, that's an exercise that indicates there is a new change in the cabinet. And more on that story will come your way in our subsequent bulletins. Now, over to Kakumiru District, a delegation of more than 200 residents from Kakindo sub-county converged at Biamokama's home, presenting gifts including cows, goats, poultry and bananas in the appreciation of his contribution to the community development and agricultural transformation.
And we came a big group to thank him, to praise the Lord. So we would have come so many, but because of space, we would not manage. Thank you very much, and thank you, our minister, for giving us time and for everything you have done for us today. Thank you.
We are going to execute our manifesto. Hati manifesto itandikiti. Buli kabona tukatandika kukwatagana na abakoto bano tuenda kuleta bitwaraganiza abantu. Abantu kyenkubagumya nti bitwakaraganiza biyona biri at hand. Byo pipeline. Imwe mutusumba tuongere sara, mukama tuongera amagezi n'okunywana niko ebintu tusobole bireta. Abakulembezi bona betanga mwesara.
What has taught me today that the message of His Excellency the President of wealth creation in homes, people have captured it. Because whoever is donating such a goat, such a cows, which means has something to give from their family. I've also been a major campaigner of wealth creation through Feka model, and my people have got the message. The proof that they have got the message, you can see here, they have given me richness. When people are rich, they also give you. Now, this is a litmus paper or a testimony that to lead people, you must get them out of poverty first. Even leading them, it will be easy. So you have seen they have brought a lot of cows, others have already gone to the farm. That means they have something in their pocket. So His Excellency the President, his message he brought of wealth creation, my people have got it very well and they have practiced it. Even myself, I have told them what to do. And now me a leader, they are the ones who are instead making me rich. Even the food they are bringing here, it is by themselves. So I want to thank my voters in the constituency, because I saw in my constituency one sub-county bring 11 cows. And I'm expecting more. Tomorrow, even after tomorrow, I'm expecting more cows and more goats. I want to thank my voters. They have really showed me that they love me And my message to them of the situation, they have captured it. They are now also giving me richness. They have nothing to beg, they don't want to give me. I want to thank the chairman of C5, St. Joseph Saints, who has led a very big delegation from Uganda East. This is on the road. About to take a key. On the TV, by radio, to come room. But you can never go to the but you talk for I have a gum. Mr. Assembly,
Now that's what we call undeniable testimony. Well done, Minister. Experts have urged the Equal Opportunities Commissions to look beyond affirmative action measures in the national budget and assess how public spending impacts the lives of ordinary Ugandans. The call was made during the release of the EOC Gender and Equality Compliance Assessment Report for the year 2026 and 2027 national budget.
On June 11th, at the Kolo ceremonial grounds, the Minister for Finance, Planning and Economic Development, Henry Musasizi, presented the national budget for the 2026-2027 financial year, totaling 84.39 trillion shillings. The budget prioritizes full economic monetization, commercial agriculture, industrialization, regional infrastructure development, and other strategic interventions aimed at accelerating socio-economic transformation. Following this, the Equal Opportunities Commission released its Gender and Equity Compliance Assessment findings to evaluate whether the national budget adequately addresses the needs of all Ugandans. According to the report, the increase in the national budget from 72.39 trillion shillings in the financial year 2025-2026 to 84.39 trillion shillings in the financial year 2026-2027 has created additional fiscal space for inclusive development initiatives. These include wealth creation programs such as the Parish Development Model, GROW, rural electrification projects, and investments supported by petroleum revenues.
Government has maintained a strong focus on wealth creation through allocations exceeding 2.49 trillion to programs aimed at increasing household incomes and participation in the demand economy.
The assessment further notes that special interest groups have been considered through programs such as SAGE, youth livelihood programs, and EMIOGA.
Since social protection interventions continue to be prioritized, including 121 billion for SAGE, government has allocated approximately 13 trillion towards health, education, water sanitation, and social protection sectors that directly affected the vulnerable populations. Despite these interventions, the report identifies several unresolved gender and equity concerns, including regional inequalities, rising public debt, and persistent youth unemployment. High public debt obligations continue to constrain the fiscal space and limit resources available for investment in health, education, social protection, and other services that disproportionately benefit vulnerable populations.
Experts cautioned that while the Commission's assessment of affirmative action remains important, there is need for a deep analysis of how budget priorities and government programs translate into tangible benefits for ordinary Ugandans.
The input versus the output. What we are putting in, does it translate into fundamental change that we probably want to see? The fact is, are children passing? Are people healthy? Are health facilities working for the people, for the poor? For me, that is the most important thing that we should be looking at.
So in my mind, I was yearning for the bigger picture. What is happening in roads? What's happening in railways, where the bulk of our budget is going? What's happening to energy in terms of addressing marginalization and discrimination?
Stakeholders called upon government to address gender and equity gaps, especially the inadequate funding allocated to local governments, which continues to undermine effective service delivery across the country.
Speaks to decentralization. I don't think it has served the original purpose of 1992, because it was veered off into some other interests. Some districts are so tiny. I was this morning sharing with people when Jinja City was created, because the city had to be bigger than a municipality. So they picked some of the parishes from Jinja district and added them to the city. but the budget never followed. So the budget remained in the district, and the district said, you parish, you now belong to the city. And the city said, but I didn't receive your budget. So the people there were disenfranchised. But also it affected the human resource. The district engineer...
Rebecca Natongo, Susan Nabgude for UBC News.
Now, the Ministry of Water and Environment is working to balance its mandate in delivering water, sanitation and hygiene services to an ever-growing population amid limited sector funding. Now, under its 2025-2030 strategic plan, the ministry needs about 12 trillion shillings to achieve universal wash access by 2030.
The major focus as per the Ministry of Water and Environment is 2025-2030 strategic plan is on scaling up access to water, sanitation and hygiene, also called wash services, despite a massive financing shortfall. The plan targets 95% access to safe water in rural areas, 100% coverage in urban areas, and basic sanitation for 60% of Ugandans by 2030.
In urban areas, we want to move from 73% to 85%. Functionality, again, we want to increase it from around 84% to 90%.
It also aims to raise hand washing with soap to 80% of households and keep more than 90% of rural water points functional.
The first mile really, or the last mile, is where all is said and done. People must use the wash facilities. It doesn't matter moving the water from where it is. We put all these investments. If people can't do that last act, then we have a problem, which we also need to invest into, and that is the hygiene and the sanitation part.
What is the understanding at a family level? How can we get this to be done? She talked of 150 years planning. So we will discuss this thing until cows go home, unless we take it back home to the household level and to the family level. So my prayer is that as somebody who comes from the broadcasting point of view, we have a role to play. Coordination, making sure that the information is done. We are ready to join UNICEF and government to make sure that at the family level, the first seed is planted right there.
To get there, the ministry is shifting towards pipe-to-water schemes, solar-powered systems, and private sector involvement in sanitation and fecal sludge management.
Many areas are having aging infrastructure, so it needs to be rehabilitated and expanded. Wastewater and reuse, again we want to turn waste into products that can generate money, hygiene and sanitation marketing. Bulk water transfer and irrigation, we want to provide water for multipurpose uses and also support irrigation, farmer-led irrigation, so that we can improve productivity on the farm.
The Minister of State for Water, Aisha Sechindi, says Uganda's wash challenges are being worsened by climate change, population growth and poor infrastructure, with 15% of rural water sources non-functional and urban systems unable to cope with demand.
Climate change is fundamentally a water crisis. Our traditional water sanitation and hygiene wash infrastructure was never engineered to withstand these extreme shifts.
During a national high-level dialogue on climate-resilient water and sanitation services in Uganda, it was established that continuous funding gaps could undermine this ambitious dream.
The amount of money we are getting is very little compared to the needs. 1.3 trillion, you need 11 trillion. That gap, and if we don't fill that gap, then we cannot deliver service. Right now, access to safe water still very low, 67%, and hasn't increased in rural areas. In urban areas, 72%. But we are also having challenges with too much water. That's why we want to invest in water harvesting. We want to invest in catchment protection and general management of water resources.
To bridge this gap, the ministry is banking on increased domestic budget allocation, public-private partnerships, climate finance, and result-based funding from donors. Alongside the 2025-2030 strategic plan is the 2026-2030 climate adaptation plan that aims to climate-proof water and sanitation systems, protect catchments, and attract innovative financing. Dorcas Kimono, UBC News.
Let's ensure every single person.
Well, thank you very much there, Dorcas Kimono. Now, in the area of drug abuse, rising cases of drug and alcohol abuse among young people in Kayunga district have raised concern among local authorities, prompting a stern warning against the vice. Let's hear more.
The District Resident Commissioner for Kayunga, John Magezi, says increasing prevalence of substance abuse among the youth is not only destroying lives but also undermining the country's socio-economic development. Speaking during community engagements in Chiteredde and Chiremezi, Magezi urged young people to shun drug abuse and engage in productive activities to improve their livelihoods.
I have noted with concern that many of our youths have turned into drug addicts, and this puts their life at a very big risk, because when you start depending on drugs for your survival, it means that you're spoiling your mental health.
He attributed persistent poverty in some parts of the district to widespread alcoholism and drug abuse on individuals who spend their days drinking, noting that many people spend valuable time drinking rather than engaging in income-generating activities. He observed that many government programs designed to uplift communities remain underutilized by the youth, despite their potential to improve household incomes and promote wealth creation.
This business of getting up very early and go for alcohol, disenfranchise the population by rendering it very unproductive. We want a very productive kind of population that will contribute to the economy of the country.
The Deputy RDC warned that security agencies will next month launch a special operation targeting drug dealers and habitual drug users across the district. Magezi called upon parents, community leaders, religious institutions, and local authorities to work together in guiding young people towards responsible living and active participation in government development programs.
People have failed to work, to be productive, and they have now turned into being beggars and being very idle.
I'm Emmanuel Makabai, reporting for UBC.
Return with more news. Stay with us.
Brought to you by
Makerere Institute for Social Development, a certified institution for higher learning, invites applicants for certificates and diploma courses. MISD or Makerere Institute for Social Development, facilitating your career.
And that's it for today. Till the next episode.
Like a daily bando, like a daily bando, like a daily bando. Omuliro nguwulira muli mu mutima kukankana like drums. Kalakata, kalakata, enendungu yakusabula. Mikono juu, free of fire, free of fire, free of fire.
Makerere Institute for Social Development, a certified institution for higher learning, invites applicants for certificates and diploma courses like accounting and finance, procurement, journalism, tailoring and fashion design, with many other skills-tailored courses.
Our institution is compliant. First of all, it is recognized by National Council for Higher Education. We are certified. The registration number is UBB 187.
tested and tried since 1995. Makerere Institute for Social Development is your solution when it comes to quality education.
You may apply for January, May, August intakes. Find us along Sir Apollo Kagwa Road, opposite Makerere University Sports Ground. Our tuition is affordable with a state-of-art facilities. Early birds stand a chance to grab themselves bursaries. MISD or Makerere Institute for Social Development, facilitating your career.
I'm called Awidi Isabella. I'm studying from Villa Maria School of Nursing. I've won a school fees with the MTN Momo. This school fees you win for a full year, which I'm very happy for it. I thank MTN Momo for helping me in paying my school fees.
We've paid all the fees for the year.
Thank you very much, because on Wednesday, the principal told me, look for my man and bring my man. I told her, no, I don't have money now. You have to wait until I get the money. But when I left our office, at 3, they called me that you've won the money from Momo. I said, how does it happen?
As long as you pay school fees using Momo, you stand a chance to win school fees for a year. Dial *165 *80# to win school fees for a year and more.
In a fast-moving world, why are we still stuck with paperwork? Signing here, stamping there, moving from office to office. It's exhausting. Now, there's a better way. With UG Pass, you can securely prove your identity, sign documents, and access government services anytime, anywhere. No delays, no stress. Everything is instant, safe, secure, and government-backed. UG Pass, your identity secured. Available on the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. UG Pass is a product of Nita Uganda.
As we step into the world of business, garage owners and mechanics have been urged to tighten financial discipline and prepare for uncertain economic conditions as rising global tensions continue to affect business operations and fuel costs.
The training aims at recognizing customers for their continued support over the years while helping them prepare for emerging economic challenges.
We have information following the recent crisis in the world, like the Iran war has created several discomforts in businesses, if you're aware, which I believe you are aware, that for example, fuel prices have gone up, people have lost jobs, spare parts prices are likely to go up. So we are in a kind of crisis at the moment.
Wandawa said global market disruptions and international conflicts continue to push fuel prices higher and create uncertainty across business sectors.
Not only Mandela Auto Spares, but it's an international crisis. We have experience of this from our last visit to Dubai. We noticed while we were in Dubai that many companies, including big hotels, were tending to close down. They're reducing down staff. We traveled there, and we've been there before, and the previous years we would go and we would struggle to get onto the taxi, to get traffic around Dubai, but this time it was like a walkover.
He noted that lessons drawn from international markets are being shared to help local businesses strengthen operations and remain competitive.
Because these people are working with different organizations and different people as well, we expect them also to disseminate this information to the rest of the country. The information we share, they will also share with other people in the country, and the whole country will get somehow enlightened. But most importantly also, these people are also running businesses. As garage owners, they run businesses, they are business managers, they are business owners, and we expect that the challenges we go through, they also go through.
Participants were encouraged to cut unnecessary expenditure, manage finances prudently. For UBC News, I am Sudat Kaye.
And that does bring us to the end of our lunchtime news. Thank you once again for allowing us into your space. My name is Patricia Lukoma Mpango. Good afternoon.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Mrs. Muriel Bayingana of Makindye, Kampala, on behalf of the Bayingana family, regrets to announce the passing of her beloved husband, Sam Bayingana, who passed away on the afternoon of the 23rd of June 2026 at CKIHK Kampala. The official funeral program of Sam Bayingana, who was born in 1933 and lived up to 2026, Thursday, the 25th of June 2026, vigil will take place at the family home in Makindye, Kampala, along 2C Bayingana Muriel Close at 6 p.m. Friday, the 26th of June 2026, there will be a funeral service at All Saints Cathedral, Nakasero at 9 a.m. Saturday, the 27th of June 2026, vigil will be on at the family home in Rakabengo, Rukunjiri at 6 p.m. And Sunday, the 28th of June 2026, there will be a burial service at Heritage Hotel, Rukunjiri at 10 a.m. Thereafter, the body will be laid to rest at his home in Rakabengo, Rukunjiri. Informed are His Excellency the President General Yoweri Museveni, relatives, friends and